Now, all of the creatures that I'm going to give you have a separated eye. So here are my chameleon's eyes in a group. The body is really the only thing we're going to be concerned with. If I open up my UV editor, mine always opens with the UV toolkit undocked. I find that really annoying, so I'm going to unlock my interface, dock this, and then relock. Even though I have the chameleon selected, you'll see that there are no UVs right now. That's because I already made this map, and then I deleted the UVs so that you could have the fun of making this yourself. That means that my first step is going to be going to the Create menu and generating an automatic map, just so that I have some UVs to work with. There's my big old jigsaw puzzle. This is going to be nice and easy. So I am going to go into edge selection mode, and I can use either the UV editor or the modeling panel. I'm going to select all of my edges, and in the UV toolkit under cut and sew, I am going to stitch them all together, which is going to result in a great big horrible blob. Up across the top of the UV toolkit, I'm going to turn on shell shading, which will show you this lovely pink color. The areas that are blue are areas that are right side out, the areas that are red are inside out, and the pink areas are overlapped, and that's a nice thing for me to be able to see. And of course I can also turn on this checkerboard, which will show me areas of distortion. I'll leave that off for now. I've got one shell, which is pretty good, but of course there's a lot of distortion in it. So I am going to start by taking this loop that runs around the center of the chameleon. This will take me a few clicks. I'll just keep my Shift key held down. Looks like I've got it there. And now I can cut. Let me make sure that I've got two shells. Nope, I've still only got one, so something is still assembled, possibly deep on the inside of my newt. We'll head in here, and yes, the inside of the mouth. So I'll take that and cut it. And now I've got two shells. I've got this side and this one. So if I take the two of them and unfold them, I should get two slightly more chameleon-shaped blobs. There's one, there's the other. Just so that you know, these concentric rings here are the leg, that's the front leg, that's the back leg, and this is the inside of the mouth, that's the throat. This is the eye, the back of the eye, so I don't need to worry too much about that, but these legs, that's pretty bad. If I turn on my checker, I can see that the legs are like one gigantic block. So the legs are an area where I've got too much distortion. You always want your border edges to run together. So I'll start with this front leg. I'm going to make a cut across the belly, and then I will shift and make a cut that runs up the tip of the leg. This is a great time for me to start working with Object X symmetry, and all of the models that I'm going to give you will have Object X symmetry, so you can keep that turned on. This loop here has gone out to the toe, so I'm just going to take this little edge of the toe, and I'll keep going all the way across the bottom of the foot, probably to there. I can cut this again, take my UV shells, and unfold. And now you can see that front leg. So I'll go ahead and do the same thing with the back leg. I'll take this edge that runs across the back, and then this one that goes down. In this case, I am getting right to the middle of the toe. It looks like I'm going all the way around the foot and then back up. So this isn't necessarily a great edge. Let's see what happens if I go one more forwards. That'll cut across the top of the foot. Not optimal, but fine for an exercise like this. Ideally, I would prefer to have my border edge across the bottom because that makes it harder for people to see. But I'll make this cut anyway. And then again, take my shells and unfold. The last thing I'll do here is I will cut off the mouth because I think that that's causing a lot of distortion on the face shells. So one more time, I will go into edge mode. There's this nice edge right here that I can double click. That will let me cut the mouth in two. Then I can take this interior loop in the mouth. Don't want the exterior bit. Let's see if I can remove that. Actually, let's make this easier. I'm going to take these two shells and just move them out here. Then I can double click this entire loop and use the Control key to remove it from the chameleon body. Now I can stitch these two shells together, go to shell mode, grab all the shells, unfold one more time, and that is a much happier chameleon. So I'll head over to Arrange and Layout, hit my Layout button, and then I think these two shells are a little too big for comfort, so I'll just take them down a little bit. I may also turn off my symmetry. Let's see if I can orient this one. Maybe take it over here. Nope. Alright, just like that. And now I can fit my shells nice and comfortable in the 0 to 1 space. So that's it for this chameleon. I will take it in object mode, edit, delete by type, history, and this chameleon is all done. So this is a great time for me to save my scene and move on to the next file.